Okay, we are back today, joined by Adam Cullen, who returns at Cage Warriors on July 25th. Of course, a big week for UK MMA. And I'm sure, we're only a couple of weeks out now, which feels a little bit crazy that it has come around to this point so quickly. Of course, this fight will be your first one back since the split decision that you had earlier this year, the second defeat of your pro career. I know that you learned a lot from the first loss and coming back and rebounding with a win from that. I'm sure this will be very much the same. Like, what were you able to take from the last fight? Because it was a very close split decision that a lot of people had going your way. And, it happens. This one didn't go your way on this occasion. But I'm sure that with that 3 rounds, you were able to take a lot from it.
Yeah, I feel like it's just more cage time, isn't it? More cage experience. I mean, yeah, like you said, it was a close fight. I do still think I should have got the nod. Felt like I'd done the better work. Felt like I won that third round. I don't really know why, what, what, what scored in that third round. But listen, it is what it is. I'm old one, aren't I? I mean, that's the thing with MMA, isn't it? It's so three people make the decisions at the end of the day, don't they? And um, it's all opinions, isn't it? So, but yeah, it's all just cage time, all just experience for me, and I know it's just going to propel me on to go where I'm going with this career.
I feel like cage time has been like a something that comes up in pretty much every interview that someone does with you, because of course it's a huge part of getting more experience as you go up the rankings, go up the ladder in the pro game. And for you, all of your wins happen so fast that it's like it's almost kind of a it's a part of your success that you haven't had a lot of cage time, because you do finish people so fast. But obviously the losses have gone a bit deeper. Has there been kind of an element of, like, obviously you felt like you got the win on that occasion when it came right down to the wire, but was there much that you could look at, because suddenly of course you've got more cage time, but you also have more tape to kind of look back at yourself and go, okay, well, I need to do this better and this better and this better, like in the same way that a loss, you can learn a lot more from a loss than you can a win in some cases. I'm sure having it just go later into a fight is massively beneficial for you in terms of working out where you're at and what you need to be better at, and what you can work on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all just experience at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, yeah, the cage time's definitely valuable, and like you say, I've obviously had a load of first round finishes, so it's not, do you know what I mean, conducive with gaining experience, but at the same time, you want to be in there as fucking little time as possible, getting punches thrown at your head, don't you, to extend your career. It's one of them, like, I feel like I won that fight, but at the same time, that's not me saying that was a good performance by me at all. Like, I'd probably give myself a 4 out of 10 if I were to perform that night. A few things I made, mistakes I made going into it, a few mistakes I made during the fight. It's a game of inches at the end of the day, isn't it? Um, they've been rectified. The mistakes I made going into it, the mistakes in the cage, I know exactly what mistakes I made, and I won't be making them again. But you can only find that out the hard way sometimes, can't you? Um, yeah, a lot more tape for me to study, a lot more time to see what I do well and what I don't do well. Um, Obviously a lot of negatives and stuff to work on, but also a lot of positives where you look and think, realistically, third round, I felt like I was the one pushing on, going for the kill. Do you know what I mean? And that just proves to myself that I've got that dog in me. I've got that grit. I've got that fight. And I mean, for my last 10 fights, I've never really had to dig deep. And then there I was digging deep and proving to myself that, like, when it's fucking all on the line and it's time to go, I can go. Do you know what I mean? I've got that in me. Cut, bloodied, fucking someone just holding on to me for dear life. Um, who wants it more? And I felt like I proved that I wanted it more. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at the end of that fight. Um, there's obviously could be a clip going around of Mark Goddard screaming at me for punching him in the back of the head. But you look at our mentalities in that last 30 seconds of the fight. I'm there trying to kill him, and he's there holding onto me wrists, hoping that I don't hit him. So that proved a lot to myself as well. So it's all good experience. At the end of the day, I'm young. I just look at that as I'm going to be better by the time that I'm in the UFC and I'm fighting at that world level. I'm just going to be more experienced, more dangerous, and have a lot more cage time and a bigger skill set and more things in my arsenal to really put on them top level performances at that top level.
Yeah, I think it's a massive thing to be able to not only have that confidence in yourself, but also for other people to see it that like, yeah, this guy gets people out of here in the first round, but just you can't be thinking all I've got to do is get out of the first round and I'm out of danger because like you said, in that third round, you're the one that's trying to get him out of there right until the end. Like when you look at this return fight, this opponent, Xhaferi, do you get the vibe that he's a guy that first of all is going to be able to take the kind of pressure that you put on people in that first round? Is he a guy that's going to be able to go into those deep waters with you?
Here's the thing, though. I put that pressure on for 3 rounds. That's the
Yeah,
way I fight. Do you know what I mean? Just because other people couldn't handle it doesn't mean that I can't bring it. That's what a lot of people have said about me. This Cullen, you can't go past the first round. Do you know what I mean? What you going to do in a title fight if you can't do 3 rounds? All this shit. Like, sound. Like, people can say anything they want because I know how good I am. I know that I bring that pressure. I know what went wrong and what caused these performances and what to do better. So it's just a matter of time. The Xhaferi, yeah, what I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? What he thinks is going to happen. He's good. I think he's very good. But he's not as good as me, and that's the reality of the situation. And I'm going to prove that on the 25th of July. I'm going to put on a masterclass. Um, we know how he fights. He comes, tries to take you down, tries to hold you down. Um, he's not going to be able to do that to me. I'm going to sprawl on him. I'm going to smash his head in. Simple as.
the grappling exchanges in that last fight were so entertaining, so great to watch. I think that anyone who's familiar with the UK scene will see any fighter coming out of next gen and say, oh, there's probably going to be some fun grappling exchanges if this fight hits the floor. But I feel like it was again, because so many of your fights have been so quick, we got to see it a little bit more. Of course, you got to show that you can come through adversity and also be the one pushing the pace at the end. But I feel like we got to see more of the grappling on show and stuff like that. Like, even though you do have more cage time now than before, do you still feel like there's loads to your game that we haven't seen? Because even though I've just watched you go 3 rounds, I still feel like at the end of that third round, I was still seeing new things that I didn't know about you until that point. So I'm sure there's so much more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, I know how good my skill set is. I know what level I'm at. I prove that every day in the gym and sparring the guys that do and working with the guys that do. I know how good I am. And these fights, like you say, yeah, I mean, my cage time so little. And when I do get going, when I have had 3 rounds, I've never had my best performances. So yeah, I think there's so much more to my game that hasn't been shown yet. But it's only a matter of time. Do you know what I mean? It'll all come out. And the thing is, that's me now, and that was me 3 months ago. Like, I'm getting better every day. Like, I absolutely live and breathe this lifestyle of training hard, improving, working on myself every day. So it's just growing every day. Being in the gym that I'm in, around the guys that I'm training with, and with the coaches I'm training with, I am literally getting better every single day. And yeah, I'm just going to show every time from now on how truly world class I am.
I feel like you might have some interesting insight into this as a when I think of fighters that have been known to wear crowns to the cage, you are right at the top of that list. And a teammate of yours is about to fight a man who has just changed his name to King. What do you think about formerly Bobby Green, now King Green, changing his name to King? I know that Paddy's already had some words about it. I'm sure that's going to be interesting on fight week to see those two go back and forth. I'm excited for that, let alone the fight. But what do you make of him changing his name to King?
That's proper weird, isn't it? Like King Green or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever, lads. Sounds, do what you want to do. King Green. End of the day, he's getting buried in the off Paddy on the 27th. It's going to be a masterclass, I think. A real Paddy Pimblett masterclass. Like he's looked phenomenal in the gym, and Bobby Green spending time thinking about what name he's gonna call himself and fucking what tattoo and what chain he's gonna buy next. Whereas Paddy's in there working hard, and I think that's gonna show on the 27th when Bobby's more fucking concerned with what people are calling them than what Paddy's gonna do to him. I think he's gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal for in a couple of years' time is for all of you guys to be on the same card together. But in terms of the next best thing, getting to be on a Cage Warriors card a couple of days before UK MMA is going to be all the buzz in the combat sports world with the UFC coming and with that stacked card. Like I'm sure that without getting to share the card with them just yet, you're still getting the energy of you guys all preparing for, all eyes are kind of on that week. I know that obviously a bunch of the guys in the gym are going to have fights coming up on different dates, but a lot of the energy, is all focused around that week in Manchester. It must be wicked the buzz of that to be like, there's a bunch of you guys that have all got big fights and it's all happening on the same week, and it is, it's going to be a massive week for next gen, which it always seems to be whenever there's a Cage Warriors show or a UFC show at the moment. But yeah, that one in particular, one of the biggest weeks in the history of the gym, I imagine.
Yeah, cool. I mean, like the 6 or 7 of us all preparing for the same weekend sort of thing. Um, yeah, it's massive. Everyone's just bouncing off each other. Big fights all around. Big performances. I'm predicting all around, and yeah, I think it'll be a massive, massive week for us. Us lads are going to kick it off on the 25th on the Thursday, and it'll just steam through and roll through for Molly and Paddy to go and do their work on the weekend as well in their biggest fights of their careers. So yeah, the gym's flying at the minute, and it's good to be a part of it. And I love training at Next Gen. I love the coaches. I love the training partners. We're just flying at the minute, and yeah, the gym is really really buzzing at the minute.
Is that like I don't know if you know the number off the top of your head, but if you got 5 guys competing on the same Cage Warriors card as you, or like you and 4 others, I know a couple of the fights, but off the top of my head, I can't pick
Yeah,
out
me
who
and
you've got.
Ford. Yeah, got Francis Breen, Connor Wilson, Jack Axworthy, and Matthew Camilleri all on this card, and obviously me as well. It's a fucking huge card for Cage Warriors, to be honest.
Yeah,
This keeping out some fights for it. Massive card. I think there's 2 title fights as well, isn't there? So it's going to be a big night. Once again, though, I think a lot of the crowd's going to be there for us lads. We bring a lot of entertainment, don't we, and a lot of eyes to the Cage Warriors event. So it's definitely going to be a big night.
yeah, absolutely, mate. The those Manchester shows, I don't know, there's something about them, especially when yourself or any of the other next gen guys are fighting. It really is, I think, the closest thing that you can experience to like a UFC fight with a hometown fighter and things like that. It's just there's a different vibe in that building when one of you guys from the next gen gym walks out. It is a crazy atmosphere. So I can't wait for it. Like you said, stack card as well, and then of course the UFC a couple of days later should be wicked. Thank you for the time, mate. All the best, and I will catch up with you probably sometime after the fight.
Yeah, nice one, brother. Yeah, I'll see everyone on the 25th of July when I add another win to me record.